What about second breakfast?
Time for second breakfast.
What's up, everybody? Monster from Breakdowns for Breakfast here with a very special episode of Second Breakfast for you. Because today, I'm going to be going over your comments and your feedback on our episodes. I know we've mentioned on the show a few times that we've been getting comments and messages and stuff, and we love it and we sincerely appreciate it. And so I just thought this would be a great time to spend a few minutes going over some of these things, giving some shout outs to some people who have been really cool over the past few months, really supporting the show. If you've ever listened to 10 seconds of a single episode, we sincerely appreciate it. But these guys and gals have been really super cool to actually take time out of their day to not only listen to the show, but then tell us what they thought about it and join the conversation. So I'm going to read through some. We've been meaning to do this for a while, so there's actually quite a few, but I'm going to kind of hustle through these. I'm going to respond to a few of them. A matter of fact, I've actually responded to a lot of these already via social media. Also, just a little bit of a heads up or whatever. If you're commenting on a YouTube video and you get a response, 9 times out of 10, that's going to be danger. If you comment on Facebook or Spotify, 9 times out of 10, that's going to come from me, Monster. But either way, we are sharing this with each other, and that's actually one of the reasons why I want to do this, because I don't get notified about the YouTube comments, so he had to show them to me. I didn't realize how many we actually had. So anyway, I'm going to run through a handful of these, give a shout out to some buddies here, and yeah. So right off the top, I got to give a shout out to our buddy Steven from Michigan. He has commented and messaged us a lot over the past few months. He's super, super cool. If you remember our Sneaker Pimps episode, he was the one that threw that out as a suggestion. And he's just a super, super cool dude. He and I have gone back and forth on Facebook several times. And he's been super supportive of the show, really kind, really appreciate it. And he just recently... we posted about 311's Blue Album turning 30 this year, and the comment he left under that was great. He put, I still remember watching the video for Down and being like, whoa, these guys are cool. Like halfway through, my mom walks in, freaks out, and changes the channel. You're not listening to these drug addicts. Bunch of laughy faces. One of my funniest 90s memories. Yes, that is very funny. Also want to give a shout out to another guy who's been pretty busy on our Facebook over the past few months, our buddy Justin LeBraud. And let me just get this out of the way. If I mispronounce your name, God help me if I mispronounce your screen name, because some of these YouTube comments are wild. I do apologize. The sentiment stays the same. I sincerely appreciate every word you type. So anyway, but Justin here, he's been a lot of fun. I think the first comment he ever left was my favorite. On a post of ours from June 14th, he put, what is the best place to debate? Monster hates everything I like, but seems once in a while he's accurate. Thank you, Justin. If I try to be nothing but contrarian, but accurate. But again, he went through several episodes and commented his thoughts on certain songs and certain albums. Again, Justin, thank you so much for listening to so many episodes and commenting so much and joining the conversation. Very cool. Okay, so this one's a little tricky. We have a listener on Spotify who I'm assuming just took whatever Spotify name gave them. So I'm not going to try to say it, but it's a whole bunch of letters and numbers. It might actually mean something. I don't know, but I don't know the person's actual name, but they've been really, really super cool, commenting on a ton of episodes. And as of today, July 15th, he even commented on our Lordy episode that just dropped. He was an hour after it got posted, he had already commented on it. So shout out to whatever it is. If you go to our Spotify and you see some comments, there's a good chance some of them came from him or her. I'm honestly not sure. And also, quick shout out to one of the dudes from Dragged Under. Apparently, he listened to our episode on their album and commented, appreciate us listening to it and checking it out. So that's really cool. Anytime we get feedback from bands that we do on the show, it's nerve-wracking because, we're being honest and sometimes we don't love every single second of an album. So when bands respond, accordingly, it's always a little bit nerve-wracking. Like, a Marionette was super cool. We've already talked about them a lot on the show, but when we did their album, we said nice things, but we were also kind of, and, they came right back and were like, yeah, pretty much, so that was a lot of fun. But then when we posted our, I Am Abomination episode, I was not real high on that, and they commented. It was just a couple of emojis that were like, ooh, so I'm glad. Hey, either way, whether we like it or not, we're giving you free publicity. So, I mean, you're still going to hear the song. So, anyway, also want to give a shout out to our buddy Phil. I believe he messaged us on Buzzsprout. I can't remember, but he has messaged us a couple times, and he actually requested an album by a band called Left Hand Black. I guess you're just going to have to wait and see if we ever do that, right? All right, so now let me get into some of these YouTube comments, because this is where I had no idea people were commenting, and I wish I had. I would have responded sooner. Some of these are from just a couple weeks ago. Some of these are from like 4 or 5 months ago. So, but I just wanted to run down through this. So on the second breakfast I did on, I called it Loco, the Coal Chamber story. We had someone roll in, SpongeBob Fan 09, but this is a great episode. Majority of the information is correct. I enjoyed listening to it and even learned some things I never knew about. Thank you very much, SpongeBob Fan. I happen to think it was all correct, but that's fine. Just kidding. I watched a few YouTube videos, looked at a few Wikipedia pages, and did my best. But yeah, I've gotten some other feedback. Not a comment, but some people were telling me the Killswitch Engage episode, very similar. I did sort of a history of the band. Seems like you guys kind of like that sometimes. I'm going to try to do more of those. I actually have a series of Second Breakfast. It's going to be like a 5-6 part thing coming out. So that's going to be over the next couple months. But after that, I'm going to try to do a couple more band histories for you guys. Because like I said, people seem to dig that. So on the Finch vs. Disturbed episode, again, another Second Breakfast, Mario's the Best 1980s ALT rolled in and said, my mom was there at Rolling Rock Town Fair 2004. Now, if you haven't listened to that episode, essentially Finch and Disturbed got into a fist fight on stage, more or less. And apparently Homeboy's mom was there, so that's dope. I think Danger responded to his comment about, your mom must be cool, so that's fun. On our Sleep Token emerges with new song. That's not really a Second Breakfast. I guess maybe we called it that. I don't remember. But it was when Sleep Token released the first single off of Even in Arcadia Emergence. We did a little react video to it. And we had some stuff to say about it. And someone by the name of Lee Bell PBJ Lee rolled in. And she put a pretty cool comment. She put, Lord of the Rings and Sleep Token? Have a like, bro. I'm normally stingy with my likes, but you combine two of my favorite things. We appreciate it. I'm stingy with my likes and comments as well, which is why I'm so grateful you guys are doing this. So on our episode on the album Testify by POD, Grand Hall 124 rolled in and said, yeah, final album of the nu metal era. I guess you're referring to POD, that's the end of their nu metal era. And I would say yes and no. I think that after the Jason Truby albums, they sort of did get a little bit more, kind of like Deftones. Like, they're sort of their own thing. Yes, there's still a lot of new in it. But if you didn't, want to call them nu metal, I could understand that. So, anyway, on our Transistor episode 311 for 311 Day this year, What a name. Screen name Certified Skank rolled in and said, happy 311 day. Happy 311 day to you too. Thank you for listening. And let's see. Okay. So this was on our episode from One Nation Under by From Zero. This was kind of interesting. We got a comment from Blindside XV6244. They put, best album in nu metal, hands down. Arista did these guys so dirty. All they cared about back in those days was promoting the next boy band. I tend to agree with that. Also, we got a comment from Jonah Tone 3651. Also on the From Zero episode, put, such a good album. Shame they never really took off. The Other Side and Circumstances are spectacular. Those are really good songs. The Other Side is a great song. And then Danger, with his typical wit, came in and said, well, one of us really loved this one too. Now, so this is where, okay, so I think it's DKM 4567. This is what they put. And I'm going to read this whole thing because it's kind of fun. And put, LOL, yeah, I definitely don't agree with the dude that thinks it's boring either. He's referring to Danger, because if you remember, Nu Metal Monster here, I really enjoyed that From Zero album. But he goes on to say, I think they definitely have a special sound. The album effing rocks hard. They definitely didn't have a label that promoted them well, that's for sure. A lot of new metal heads definitely agree they should have been way bigger than they were. I'd put them above Limp Bizkit, Disturbed, plenty of other bands that got huge. I've always vibed with this album. You pretty much only see people saying how much they like these guys and how they deserved much better. And also, I really don't know in what universe Jet could remotely sound like Scott Stapp, even if he tried as hard as he could. I didn't get that statement at all. Laughing face. I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. Me and you understand. It's Danger that doesn't get it. But no, thank you. I know From Zero is they're one of those bands, kind of, I guess you call them cult bands, right? You got cult movies, you got cult bands. And I know a lot of people really have strong feelings for From Zero. So that was cool. You guys rolling in there on that one. On our Stabbing Westward Darkest Days album, another good name, 60 Billion Double Dollar Man said, great episode. Love that album so much. Thank you very much. Glad you enjoyed the episode. It is a very good album. And then on Finch's Say Hello to Sunshine, Andy Dufresne 1602 rolled in, which, by the way, love the Stephen King reference. Thank you. Put, great job. Happy 20th anniversary to Say Hello to Sunshine. One of the greatest and unique musical works in the history of mankind. Maybe a little superlative, but you know what? I tend to agree. It is a very unique album. It's the album that made us want to do this show. We were sitting around talking about that album, and we're like, you know what? Do you think anybody else would give a shit about this conversation we're having? Who knows? Let's find out. So I've got one more comment here that I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I just want to give a shout out to Evil Auntie from YouTube. She commented on our Right Here, Right Now, Second Breakfast, the breakdown of the Ghost film, Right Here, Right Now. And she did a wonderful job of filling me in on the lore and what some of those things that went right over my head when I watched the movie. She really took her time out to really explain it all. I've read it. I think I've got a little bit more of a better understanding now. So shout out to you, Evil Auntie, for, again, this had to take a few minutes. It's a nice long paragraph. But I also, I'm not sure what part of the country, or excuse me, what part of the world you're from, because you mentioned, you assumed that we were in the U.S. That is correct. And she said, us Nordics aren't that good at telling regional accents apart. So if you're actually from there, that's amazing that you're listening to us. Now, if you were just born there and you live in America now, that's still super cool. You're listening to the show, but it's always wild when I find out we have like different international listeners. That's not every single comment and email we've ever received, but that's a whole lot of them that have been sitting out there for a while that I wanted to talk about and give a shout out to some of our buddies who've been listening. Also, my brother Brian, my friend Ben, mine and Danger's friend David, our girlfriend or fiance and wife, they've all thrown out suggestions and requests. Please keep sending your requests. Please keep sending in your feedback. We love to hear it. And if you just, like I said, please comment. Email again is breakdownsbreakfast@gmail.com. Feel free to send us anything and everything. We love it when you guys leave comments. We love it when we can go back and forth and argue about stuff. So yeah, shout out to everybody I just mentioned, and shout out to everybody who's been listening and sharing episodes and talking about it. We really, really, really appreciate it. And hope you guys have a great day.